God did make the fish. We're going to learn a little bit today about a time that Jesus was working with the disciples and fish. Remember, we are in a time right after Jesus returned from the dead, and he is able to spend time again with the disciples. A net full of fish. Peter went fishing with some of the disciples. They fished from their boat all night, but they did not even catch one fish. Early the next morning, someone from the shore shouted, "You have not caught one fish, have you?" "No," they replied. "Cast your net to the right side of the boat," the man said. As soon as they did, their net was full of fish. Then Peter knew the man was Jesus. He jumped out of the boat and swam to shore. Peter asked him, "Do you love me?" Or Jesus asked him, "Do you love me?" Peter said, "You know I do." Jesus said, "If you love me, then take good care of my people." Jesus always wants us to be well taken care of. I want you to remember that God made the fish, and that whenever he made those fish, he had control over them. He has control over all of his creation. And if God has control over something teeny tiny like some of the little baby fish, then that means that he really has control about what's happening in our lives. So I want you to take comfort in that right now. When you might be frustrated having to stay at home, know that God is still in control and has good plans for your life. Let's move on to your math. Today for math, you're going to be working on adding. What you're going to do is look at the example problem they have for you first, and then we'll continue with these ones. I'm going to explain the example problem. So, they count how many puffer fish there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you write down 5 in the first box. Then we go to the second box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 5 plus 8. Then we choose to count them all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 5 plus 8 equals 13. Then you need to fill in 13 spaces with puffer fish. You can choose to use puffer fish when you're drawing, or what they show as an example, or you can just do a circle or a dot. When you move on, you're going to count how many are in the first box, write it down. Count how many are in the second box, write it down, and then add them together. Write that as your answer, and then draw that many inside of the boxes below. You're going to do the same thing for number 3. First box, second box, add them together, that's your answer, and then draw that many below. How many are in your first box? Goes in the first box. How many are in the second box? Goes in the second box. Count how many there are all together. That is your answer, and then draw that many down below. Turn it over. You're going to do the same thing on the second page. First box goes in first box. Second box goes in second box. All together goes in the bottom, and then draw that many here. How many are in the first box? Goes in first box. Second box goes to second box. Add them all together, the bottom, and then draw that many below. For number 7, the first box goes in the first box. Second box goes in the second box. Add them all together to put in the third box, and then draw that many below. First box to first box, second box to second box, all together for your third box, and then draw that many. You only have 7 problems you need to do today, so I hope that you enjoy getting done with your math a little bit more quickly. All right, let's work on your phonics. You have 3 sentences today that I will read to you, and then we're going to work on ABC order. I will do the first ABC order together with you. Let me start by reading the sentences. David played his harp for King Saul, or David played his harp for King Saul. Circle the correct answer. Saul's men hopped the music would help, or Saul's men hoped the music would help. Saul liked David's playing, or Saul liking David's playing. Down here and on the back side, you're working on ABC order. What you're going to do is let this alphabet line help you. I will write out the first one and do it with you. You're going to do the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by yourself. Let me write down the first one. The words are going to be play, sheep, boy, and David. I'm going to write it on my board so it's bigger and easier for you to see. So we have the words play, sheep, boy, and David. When we're putting words into alphabetical order or ABC order, we only are starting by using the first letter. So P for play, S for sheep, B for boy, and D for David. We just go in order of the alphabet and see which one of those letters comes first. A, there aren't any A's. B, there's a B. So that's number 1. C, there are no C's. D, I have a D, so A, B, C, D. E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Just to make sure that this one comes after, we go P, Q, R, S. So I've written the numbers next to them to help myself know which one goes in order. But then I'm going to write them down on my paper. I'm going to put boy first. So boy, then David, then play, and then sheep. Remember to use those lines to help you have good handwriting. David should be the only word with an uppercase letter to show respect for his name. You're going to continue putting these words in ABC order for all 5 of the next problems. Remember, you only need to use the first letter in each one of the words. All right, today your video is going to be called compound words. That's where they take 2 words and they make it 1 word. I would like to give a big shout out to Juan Danielle and Quinn for being the first 2 students to do their reading on Kids A to Z. I would like to encourage all of you to be reading on there often, and I hope you have a wonderful day, Gophers and Wolves.